Chapter 32. Dialects and Readings of the Qur'an. Kitab al-Huruf wa al-Qira'at. Chapter 1. Narrated Jabir ibn Abdullah. The Prophet read the Quranic verse, "And take ye the station of Abraham as a place of prayer." Great Sahih. Narrated Aisha. A man got up for prayer at night. He read the Quran and raised his voice in reading. When the morning came, the Messenger of Allah said, "May Allah have mercy on so and so. Last night he reminded me a number of verses which I was about to forget." Great Sahih. Narrated Abdullah ibn Abbas. The verse, "And no prophet could ever be false to his trust," was revealed about a red velvet. When it was found missing on the day of Badr, some people said, "Perhaps the Messenger of Allah has taken it." So Allah the Exalted sent down, "And no prophet could ever be false to his trust," to the end of the verse. Abu Dawud said, "In the word Yaghullah, the letter Ya has a short vowel, A." Great Sahih. Anas bin Malik reported that the Messenger of Allah as saying, "O Allah, I seek refuge in thee from niggardliness and old age." Great Sahih. Narrated Laqit ibn Sabira. I came in the deputation of Banu al-Muntafiq to the Messenger of Allah. He then narrated the rest of the tradition. The Prophet said, "La tasibana, do not think," and did not say, "La tasabana, do not think." Great Sahih. Narrated Ibn Abbas. The Muslims met a man with some sheep of his. He said, "Peace be upon you." But they killed him and took those few sheep. Thereupon the following Quranic verse was revealed, "And say to anyone who offers you a salutation, thou art none of believer, coveting the perishable good of this life," meaning these few sheep. Great Sahih. Narrated Sayyid ibn Thabit. The Prophet used to read, "Not equal are those believers who sit at home and receive no hurt, Gairu ulid darari." But the narrator Sayyid did not say the words used to read. Great Hassan Sahih. Narrated Anas ibn Malik. The Messenger of Allah read the verse "Eye to eye for eye," al-aynu bil ayn. Great Daif. Narrated Anas ibn Malik. The Prophet read the verse, "We ordained therein for them life for life and eye for eye, an nafsa bin nafsi wal aynu bil ayn." Great Daif. Narrated Abdullah ibn Umar. Atiyah ibn Sa'd al-Awfi said, I recited to Abdullah ibn Umar the verse, "It is Allah who created you in a state of helplessness, weakness, min daf." He said, "Read, min duf." I recited it to the Messenger of Allah as you recited it to me, and he gripped me as I gripped you. Great Hassan. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The Prophet read the verse mentioned above, min duf. Great Hassan. Narrated Ubay bin Ka'b, say in the bounty of Allah and in His mercy, in that let you rejoice. Great Hassan Sahih. Narrated Ibn Absi, Ubay ibn Ka'b said, the Prophet read the verse, say in the bounty of Allah and in His mercy, in that let you rejoice. That is better than the wealth you hoard. Great Hassan Sahih. Narrated Asma, daughter of Yazid, she heard the Prophet read the verse, he acted unrighteously. Innahu amila gaira salih. Great Sahih. Narrated Salama Ummul Muminin, Shar ibn Habshab said, I asked Salama, how did the Messenger of Allah read this verse? For his conduct is unrighteous. Innahu amalun gairu salih. She replied, he read it. He acted unrighteously. Innahu amila gaira salih. Abu Dawud said, this tradition has been transmitted by Harun al-Nawi and Musa bi Khalaf from Thabit, as reported by the narrator Abd al-Aziz. Great Sahih. Narrated Ubay ibn Ka'b, when the Messenger of Allah prayed, he began with himself and said, may the mercy of Allah be upon us and upon Moses. If he had patience, he would have seen marvels from his companion, but he said, Moses said, if ever I ask thee about anything after this, keep me not in thy company, then wouldst thou have received full excuse from my side. Hamza lengthened it. Narrated Ubay ibn Ka'b, the Prophet read the Quranic verse, thou hast received full excuse from me, min laduni, and put tashdid, doubling of consonants on nun, n. Great daif. Narrated Abdullah ibn Abbas, Ubay ibn Ka'b made me read the following verse as the Messenger of Allah made him read, in a spring of murky water, fi aynin hami atin, with short vowel a after h. Great Sahih. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, the Prophet said, a man from the Ilion will look downwards at the people of paradise, and paradise will be glittering as if it were a brilliant star. He, the narrator, said, in this way the word duri, brilliant, occurs in this tradition, yet the letter dal di has short vowel u and it has no hamza. Abu Bakr and Umar will be of them and will have some additional blessings. Narrated Farwa ibn Musayk al-Guttaifi, I came to the Prophet, he then narrated the rest of the tradition. A man from the people said, Messenger of Allah, tell us about Saba. What is it, land or woman? He replied, it is neither land nor woman. It is a man to whom 10 children of the Arabs were born. 6 of them lived in the Yemen and 4 lived in Syria. The narrator Uthman said al-Ghattafani instead of al-Guttaifi. He said, it has been transmitted to us by al-Hasan ibn al-Hakam an-Nakhai. Great Hassan Sahih. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet as saying, the narrator Ismail transmitted it from Abu Huraira and mentioned the tradition about the coming down of revelation. So far is this the case, that when terror is removed from their hearts. Great Sahih. Narrated Salama, wife of the Prophet. The reading of the following verse by the Prophet goes, Nay, but there came to thee Yatki, my signs, and thou didst reject them. Fakad habti biha. Thou was haughty, was stuck barti, and became one of those who reject faith. Wakunti. Abu Dawud said, this is a mursal tradition. Yet the link of the companion has been omitted, for the narrator Al-Rabi did not meet Salama. Great Da'if in chain. Narrated Aisha, Ummul Muminin. I heard the Messenger of Allah read, there is for him rest and satisfaction, Farihun wa Raihan. Great Sahih in chain. Safwan bi Yala, quoting his father, said, I heard the Prophet read on the pulpit the verse, they will cry, O Malik. Abu Dawud said, that is without shortening the name Malik. Great Sahih. Narrated Abdullah ibn Masud. The Messenger of Allah made me read the verse, it is I who give all, sustenance, Lord of power, steadfast forever. Great Sahih. Narrated Abdullah ibn Masud. The Prophet used to read the verse, is there any that will receive admonition? Mudakir. That is with doubling of consonant dal di. Abu Dawud said the word mudakir may be pronounced as mim, m, with a short vowel u, dal di, with a short vowel, and kaf, k, with a short vowel I. Great Sahih. Narrated Jabir ibn Abdullah. I saw the Prophet reading the verse, does he think that his wealth would make him last forever? Great Da'if in chain. Narrated Abu Kilaba, that the Prophet made a man read the verse, for that day his chastisement will be such as none else can be chastised, and his bounds will be such as none other can be bound. Abu Dawud said, according to some scholars, there is a narrator between the narrator Khalid and Abu Kilaba. Great Da'if in chain. Narrated Abu Kilaba. A man whom the Prophet made the following verse read informed me, or he was informed by a man whom a man made the following verse read through a man whom the Prophet made the following verse read. For that day his chastisement will be such as none else can be inflicted. La yu'ad habu. Abu Dawud said, Asim al-Amas, Tala bi Musarif, Abu Jafar, Yasid bi al-Kaka, Shayba bi Nasa, Nafi bi Abd al-Rahman, Abd Allah bi Katir, al-Dari, Abu Amr bi al-Allah, Hamzat al-Sayat, Abd al-Rahman al-Araj, Qatada, al-Hasan al-Basri, Mujahid, Hamid al-Araj, Abd Allah bi Abbas, and Abd al-Rahman bi Abi Bakr recited, "For that day his chastisement will be such as none else can inflict, la yadhibu, and his bands will be such as none other can bind, va la yatiku." Except the verse mentioned in this tradition from the Prophet, it has been read yu'adhabu with short vowel a in passive voice. Great Daif in chain. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, the Messenger of Allah related a tradition in which he mentioned the words Jibril and Mikal, and he pronounced them Jibra'ila wa Mika'ila. Abu Dawud said, Khalaf said, "I did not put the pen aside from writing letters, Huruf, for 40 years. Nothing tired me or made me incapable of writing. Even Jibril and Mikail did not tire me." Great Daif in chain. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, the Messenger of Allah mentioned the name of the one who will sound the trumpet, Sahib as-Sur, and said, "On his right will be Jibrail, and on his left will be Mikail." Great Daif. Narrated Ibn al-Musayyab, the Prophet Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman used to read Maliki Yawmid Din, Master of the Day of Judgment. The first to read Maliki Yawmid Din was Marwan. Abu Dawud said, "This is sounder than the tradition which transmitted by al-Suri from Anas and al-Suri from Salim from his father Ibn Umar." Great Daif in chain. Narrated Salama Ummul Muminin, the Messenger of Allah used to recite, "In the name of Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of the worlds, most gracious, most merciful, master of the day of judgment," breaking its recitation into verses, one after another. Abu Dawud said, "I heard Ahmad bi Hanbal say, the early reading is Maliki Yawmil Din." Great Sahih. Narrated Abu Dar, I was sitting behind the Messenger of Allah, who was riding a donkey. While the sun was setting, he asked, Do you know where this sets?" I replied, "Allah and his apostle know best." He said, "It sets in a spring of warm water, Hamiyah." Great Sahih in chain. Narrated Ibn al-Aska, the Prophet came to them in the swelling place of immigrants, and a man asked him, "Which is the greatest verse of the Qur'an?" The Prophet replied, "Allah, there is no God but He, the living, the self-subsisting, eternal, no slumber can seize him nor sleep." Great Sahih. Narrated Sharik, Ibn Masud said, "Read the verse, Now come, thou Hayta Laka. Then Sharik said, we read it, Hitu Laka, I am prepared for thee. Ibn Masud said, I read it as I have been taught, it is dearer to me. Great Sahih. Narrated Sharik, Abd Allah bin Masud was told that the people had read this verse. She said, now come, thou Hita Laka. He said, I read it as I have been taught. It is dearer to me. It goes, Wa Kalat Hayta Laka. She said, now come thou. Great Sahih. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The Messenger of Allah said, Allah the Exalted said to the children of Israel, but enter the gate with humility, in posture and in words, and you will be forgiven your faults. Tukfar Lakum, Great Hassan Sahih. The tradition mentioned above has also been transmitted by Hisham bin Sa'd with a different chain of narrators in a similar way. Narrated Aisha, the revelation came down to Messenger of Allah, and he recited to Is a surah which we have sent down and which we have ordained Farad Naha. Abu Dawud said, the letter Ra R is the word Farad Naha, has a short vowel A without doubling of consonant R. And then he reached the verses after this verse. Great Sahih in chain.